Pesticides by Justin Rernhan. Alright, so what we're going to be going over today is the introduction, background of pesticides, the environmental impacts of pesticides, effects on human health, benefits of pesticides, and of course the conclusion. So, the introduction, what are pesticides? Pesticides are designed to kill insects, fungus, bacteria, and other things that feed on crops. They're vectors for disease, nuisance, and things that destroy property. So, what are they composed of? Well, they're composed of inert and active ingredients. The active ingredients in pesticides' sole purpose is to control the pests of the crops. The inert ingredients, on the other hand, their purpose is to act as a solvent to help the active ingredients penetrate plants' leaf surface. They also have some other tasks too, like increasing shelf life and attracting the pests. So, background of pesticides. Pesticides have been used on crops for thousands of years, dating back to 4,500 years ago by the Sumerians, who used sulfur compounds to control insects and mites. Other civilizations like the Greeks and Chinese used similar chemical methods to eliminate pests and control plants' diseases. So, what forms of pesticides were used up until the 1940s? Well, many of the pesticides used up until 1940s were inorganic chemicals such as sodium chlorate, or there's also some organic chemicals that are made from natural resources, and they're pretty commonly used in the pest control industry. So, who started the environmental movement on pesticides? Well, it was Rachel Carson back in 1962 when she wrote her best-selling book titled Silent Spring. She was a scientist, and she was out to spread the word. Her goal was to make people more aware of the harm pesticides could do to humans, but also what it could do to plants. This book was really what got the environmental movement on the go. So, environmental impacts. Runoff from rain. Runoff is a big issue with farmers and can cause serious harm from simply just spraying your orchard with pesticides. Pesticides then get washed away from rain and run off into streams nearby, affecting wildlife as we know it, and starting a chain reaction from the smallest animal on the food chain to the biggest. So, next environmental impact is leaching. So, leaching is a big cause of concern for humans nearby. Leaching is known as the movement of contaminants such as pesticides carried by water downward through permeable soils. The problem with leaching is that many people depend on groundwater for their drinking supply. So, leaching contaminates people's well water. The last environmental impact of pesticides would be volatilization. This occurs when a pesticide turns into a gas or vapor after it has been sprayed, allowing it to travel through air and spread to different pieces of land. Certain pesticides are obviously more prone to volatilization. And yeah, common pesticides that are prone to volatilization are atrazine, and these can be a big problem for frogs and even for nearby neighbors living close to farms. So, the effects of pesticides on human health. So, pesticides are a massive concern to humans, and many people disregard the fact that they are chemicals that get stored in your body and can slowly poison your body without you even knowing that the chemicals are building up in your body. The most vulnerable people susceptible to pesticide effects would be children. Natural Resource Defense Council collected data saying that the higher incidence of leukemia, brain cancer, and birth defects are directly correlated with early exposure to pesticides. Top things off, many children in developing countries and even developed countries grow up around pesticides and may even be the ones spraying the pesticides themselves onto the crops. So, some side effects of digesting pesticides? Well, some side effects from pesticides would be that uh, you could get easy fatigue from it, skin irritations, breathing problems, also brain disorders, and sometimes it may even result in cancer. So, benefits and alternatives of pesticides. Well, there is some advantages to pesticides, of course. The farmers wouldn't be spraying them if there wasn't. So, the most obvious and easy one would be the economic benefits derived from the protection of commodity yield and quality of the farmer's crops. Other common benefits associated with pesticides would be protection of human health from disease-carrying organisms, suppression of nuisance-causing pests, and the maintenance of aesthetic quality. So, of course, there's other options instead of using pesticides. Some include using biopesticides like scented plant extracts or sex pheromones that interfere with mating. Pesticides are simply organic and derived from plant material and don't have any synthetic materials incorporated into them. There's obviously a lot simpler alternatives than using pesticides. One being growing your own produce, so then you know exactly what you're eating and what methods you're using to control the pests on your food. Another simple alternative would be shopping at your local farmers market, or even going to your local grocery store and searching for organically grown foods. So the conclusions. Pesticides are prone to be used for countless years to come, whether society likes it or not. Farmers are starting to realize that using pesticides that aren't organic not only has an effect on the people that eat their crops, but also has a huge health impact on themselves. It is essential for farmers to use the pesticides because at the end of the day, they want to yield as much produce out of their fields as they can. However, with stricter regulations coming into place in the near future, and even now, farmers will have to resort to biopesticides to help control their pests in the fields. Thank you.